Hello, hello, hello. It's that time again. Time to make art with Mrs. M. I'm so glad you're here. I've grabbed a few crayons for today's project, and let's take a look. All right, there's a sunflower. I think sunflowers are the most grand and amazing flowers. I grew one in my garden this year. I grew quite a few, but one grew to be 10 feet tall. Oh, it was glorious. It was beautiful. But now that it's fall, they're starting to wither and go away. But I'll save their seeds for another day. I drew the very tippy top of this sunflower, the tippy top, and I drew a few ladybugs because they are garden friends. I want you to notice that in the middle I have some patterns and designs going on where the seeds are. I did a different pattern inside here. So let's give this a try. Let's draw a sunflower together today. The very first thing you're going to do is turn your paper. I guess it doesn't matter which way because the sunflower is round. Find the center of your paper. And right there in the middle, draw a circle with your black crayon. Then once you've drawn the circle, let's add a design on the inside. Let's make lines that go straight down from top to bottom. Now let's make lines that go straight across from side to side. All right, time to add another circle. The center of that sunflower is really big. Here we go. Next, we'll add circles. All of these things that we're adding will represent the seeds in their different stages of development inside the center of this sunflower. I think it might even be fun to make a pattern using these circles. So I'm going to add a dot in the middle of every other circle. Oh, well, these two will have to be side by side. Let's add another circle. Very good. That's the center of our sunflower. Now for this, I'm going to do a zigzag line. It's going to touch the second circle and this last circle. Let me turn my paper so I can keep those zigzags going all the way around. Turn the paper, taking my time to make my zigzags pointy, and they lean up and lean down. And I keep turning my paper so I can go all the way around with zigzags. Now they look sort of like triangles. That's pretty cool. Very nice. That's the center of our sunflower, so I'm going to color it brown. I'm going to color every part of it brown, the whole thing. So in the middle, this is where the seeds are, and this part of the sunflower is brown. We only need a few colors for this, but it looks so good when it's done. I think you'll be amazed with your results. This is already looking pretty good. Had you noticed that I'm turning my paper to color around this circle? It makes it easier to get all the way around because it's a curved shape. Curved shapes sometimes can be harder to color in. Okay, there. That's the center. Now I'm going to add the petals. The petals are the yellow part that goes around. These are going to be yellow, but I'm going to start drawing them with orange to make it easier to see on camera. I'm going to start right at the top with a curved line that looks like a smile. And then at the bottom, I'm going to do another curved line that looks sort of like a frown. Then I'm going to turn my paper. So now I have top and bottom here. I can do the same thing. do a curved line that looks like a smile, and then do another curved line that looks like a frown. Very good. The shapes of these petals, these flower petals, are a raindrop shape. They're shaped like a drop of rain. So we already have the bottom that's curved. We need to add the top that looks like the raindrop. So I'm going to go up and then come back down. There's the raindrop shape. So I'll go up and come back down. I'll turn my paper again, up and come back down. And the last one, curve up and come back down. I have spaces in between all 4 petals. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to add a curved line that looks like a smile and one that looks like a frown. Then I'm going to turn my paper and do a smiling curve and then one that looks like a frown here. And when I go back, same step. I'm repeating that step. I'm going up and coming back down, so I have that raindrop shape for my petals. Sunflowers have tons of petals, but we'll just be drawing a few. By the time we color, it will look magnificent. Now I'm going to add a detail by adding a line that comes from the center of the flower up the petal like this. That's already looking very sunflower-ish. Good. Now, in this example, if you would notice, there are some petals that are behind the first row of petals that have the little line on them. So let's add those. And all we're going to do is make a line that goes up and comes back down and touches one petal and then ends at the next one. So we begin here, up and down. And I'm turning my paper each time. So I start on the side of one flower petal and curve back down to the next one. I'll go up and back down, all the way around, up and back down, up and back down, and up and back down. Isn't that lovely? Now, somewhere on this paper, we should use some green to add the stem. The stem is the part that keeps the plant, holds the plant high up in the air. So I'm going to draw 2 green lines side by side like that because I want them to be representing that stem. I'm going to color this in between these lines because the stem has to be pretty strong and thick to hold up such a tall, tall flower. Good. Now it's time to color with yellow. I'm going to color the flower petals yellow, and the background is going to be blue. So let's get started. Take your time and color, color, color. Stay inside the lines. The petals of sunflowers are yellow. Sometimes I've seen sunflowers that have a little orange with them or red, but mostly when we think of sunflowers, we think of yellow. And when we think of a sun, we think of yellow. So a sunflower's perfect color is yellow. I'm almost done here with the yellow petals for a beautiful sunflower. There's one more thing I want to do because I really don't ever like to leave my background just a plain white, especially if it is a picture of something outside. So I have my blue crayon. This blue is not the color of the sky. It's a very dark blue, but I'm going to use a very light touch. I'm going to color lightly as I possibly can for the blue sky. Otherwise, it would look too dark for a sky. So very lightly with my blue crayon, I'm using a light touch to color the background blue. I think it's important when you have a blank sheet of paper that is just white that you fill up as much space as you can with beautiful color, and don't leave too much white space. Because then to me, a work of art looks like it's not finished. It looks incomplete. So while we're coloring together, I want you to think about how many drawings you've done and you left something white. Probably a lot. The beauty of crayons, and one thing I love about crayons is you can draw with them and press down and make dark marks, or you can draw with them, color with them, and use light marks. Crayons are very versatile. I think every child should have a box of crayons so they can set their imaginations loose on a piece of paper and make beautiful things. Well, I'm almost done. The last little spot. And that is such a light blue. I'm going to bring it closer to the camera so you can see. Yes, it's blue. It's just a very light blue. Well, I hope you had fun today making this beautiful sunflower. Sunflowers make me think of how summer is ending and fall is beginning, because that's when they begin to wilt and their heads bow and their seeds start to come out for the birds to eat and for us to plant for new sunflowers in the future. Remember, art makes you smart. I hope you feel smarter today after having drawn this sunflower. See you next time. Come back and draw with me again.